What's happening, man? I was inspired by this RDC video, them talking about that. If y'all ain't seen it, I'm gonna just make sure links in the description. Y'all can check it out. Let me go ahead and pull it up for y'all, man. This is the house basically. So apparently now it's you can go right here, Bluegrass Gutters LLC. I don't know, maybe this is the goal. They trying to get there at one point. But for right now, this is what it's looking like. But yeah, man, let's see if we can get a little closer. All of this is day stuff. I mean, of course, none of this was here when I lived there, right? It had this big tree, and there was another tree, same size, right over here where this like fountain is. I guess they cut that down. And this back tree right here, that was there too. Anyways, I lived here with me, my younger brother, my older sister, and my mom, right? So this was my sister's room when we first moved in. This was my mom's room, right? And me and my brother's room was right across the hallway from my mom's room in the back of the house, right? You can't see it from here. Front door, and this is the living room right here. It has this big, it's behind the tree, so you can't really see it. But there's a big window, right? You just, you can see all the front yard and all that. For the most part, it was chill. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I went back and forth between here and my dad's house. So, but I spent a lot of time here. Like, this was whenever my mom was, I would go to the school wherever her house is, right? So, I knew a lot of kids in the neighborhood. We would play outside, we would hoop. Yeah, man, this house, right? Zoom in a little bit. Why is it zooming in so much? Can I zoom in like slightly? You know what, that works, right? So I used to DoorDash a lot back in the day, right? Like, and it was crazy because at one point someone ordered DoorDash right here, and I dropped off the food. I was like, yeah, I used to live here, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, nigga, give me my food. So, but yeah, man. So yeah, this was the crib. I see my friends stay here with me. We had, good times, right? But y'all probably asking, so what was haunted about it? It looked like a regular house, right? So, man, let me tell y'all some of the experiences that we went through at this house, right? So my older sister, she like 10 years older than me, right? So after she graduated high school, she was out of the house. So this room was pretty much open for a while because me and my little brother, we shared a room, and I didn't really get this room until like I was in middle school, right? So now I think about it, I really don't know what was going on in this room right after my sister left, because my mom's room was right here and our room was in the back. So one of the earliest experience or stories I remember is my sister, right? When she left for college or whatever, she had got her first car at the time, right? So, she wanted to drive back and, show my dudes, show us her car. This was a weekend that she came, right? Neither me or my little brother was there. It was just my mom at the crib. So, my sister basically pulled up on our mom and just pulled into the driveway, right? She's coming through the driveway or whatever. And you could see, and, like I said, they had this big window right here. So, according to her, she said she seen my mom standing in the window, right? Got the blinds you pull open or whatever. It's like a curtain more so than blinds, right? It's like a curtain. You pull it open. The curtain, we usually leave the curtain open to get like natural light in the living room, right? The curtain was open, and she basically pulled in, and you could see like, somebody standing right there. She said she seen my mom standing here watching her pull in, right? And there's a door on the side over here which goes into the kitchen and all that side door. So she pulls into a driveway and goes to the side door, right? Kitchen's right here behind the living room, and there's a hallway. So she comes through the hallway and my mom ain't there, right? She's not in the living room, she just seen her standing in the window pulling up. So she was like, oh, that's weird. So she goes back and she's like, maybe she went to the bathroom or went to her room real quick. So she goes back over here to my mom's room through the hallway, and yeah, my mom was in there asleep. So she was like, what the you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the weird things that was going on, right? And then my little brother, so he like 5 years younger than me, right? He don't really got much he remembers from around that time, but according to my mom, he would be like playing with something in there. I don't know, it's just weird stories, right? And as for me personally, let's get to my stories, right? So I never actually seen anything with my own eyes in this house, but I always had weird feelings, right? Like I would be in the bathroom, right? The bathroom is right across the hall from my sister's room, right? So this is her room, and right across the hallway is the bathroom. And there's a window in the bathroom that looks out into the backyard and all that. But there's like a fence, like a wood fence, and then like a big fence. So the backyard is probably trees in the back and all that, right? You can see some of the trees poking out over here. But so yeah, I would basically, whenever I go to the bathroom, I'll always close the window. Like I'll close the blinds because I don't know, it felt like I was being watched. You feel me? Like you ever just get that feeling like just something looking at you or something like that? So I'll be in the shower or something. I'm like, let me close this window real quick. But it never really helped. I would always get that feeling like something's watching me. But nothing really ever came from it, right? But it was always had that weird feeling. And for the most part, things was cool. Cause like I said, a lot of times I'll be back and forth from my dad and here, or I'll be outside. Some of my friends live right down the street, up and down. So I'd be outside, right? Just outside having fun, being a kid, right? And when it got to the point where I was in middle school, right, my sister was gone. My mom would take my little brother to school because he was still in elementary school at the time. After they leave, I would just be, chilling at the crib by myself, right? I'd just be, watching TV or something like that, waiting for the bus to come, eating some food, really just chilling, right? Until the bus came, getting dressed or whatever, trying to figure out my fit, you know what I'm saying? Getting everything right. And I was cool because if I could turn around, literally my bus stop was, man, come on now, it was literally like right down the street. Like at the next corner was the bus stop. So literally just right across the street. So I'm like, I could really wait until I hear the bus coming up the street. So I really be pushing it last second to like, oh yeah, I don't gotta wait. So I was just chilling, door open or whatever, until the bus comes. So one day, right, I'm just chilling, probably listening to music or whatever. Y'all remember that MTV Jams or something like that, where we played music videos or some music. I was just jamming out in the morning, waiting for the bus to come. I'm just sitting there chilling. I think I'm in the living room at the time, right? I'm here in the living room watching TV, and all the doors are open because everybody just got ready. So my mom's room was open. And by this time I'm in middle school, I forgot to say, I moved into this room, right? By the time I got like, I say 12, 13, something like that, this was my room now. It's my little brother's room in the back. My mom's room is right here. So, my door open, mom's room door open, Chris's door is open, bathroom open, all the doors is open, right? So I'm chilling, waiting for the bus to come, right? Let me get to it. And out of nowhere, right? Mind you, no one is in the house. My mom's room over here in the back slams shut. I'm talking about, it don't just, it's about boom, like someone slammed it as hard as they could. Like it slammed shut, like someone intentionally slams that door. Nigga, I'm shook. At that point, I'm like, oh hell nah. Straight out the front door, straight across the street, going to the bus stop. Bus wasn't even here yet. I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna wait outside. It was cold and all that. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not staying in here with that. It's crazy because since I'm the last one to leave, I gotta lock up. I gotta close the door, lock it, make sure nobody get in. That day, I think I said, fuck that, bro. Yeah, y'all can have it. Whatever is in here, y'all keep it, man. But yeah, once that happened, I'm like, oh yeah, ain't no way the door shutting that loud, that hard, bro. So once then, I'm like, all right, maybe there's something going on, right? And one day, right, finally, my mom tells me, right, one day when I'm gone, my sister's gone, my brother's gone, it's just her at the house, right? She's washing dishes, right? Kitchen is right here. Remember, it's across from the living room, and there's a window, right, in the kitchen. can see outside. And when you standing like straight through, if you go straight through the front door, you'll go into the kitchen too. Go through the living room into the kitchen. So she's washing dishes, right? And she tells me, and like my mom, like, she be, if you know my mama, she be telling her stories, right? But this story is just a little too it's just a little too specific, a little too crazy to be fake, right? And so she tells me she washing dishes, and out of nowhere, right? All the cabinets, pantry, all that, open, closing, shutting, slamming, shutting, right? So she goes and hides in the bathroom for some reason. I'm like, all right, whatever. And like I told you, there's a window in the bathroom. She said, and like there's a bunch of trees, like all these trees, there was way more trees back here. Like you can't see none of these trees, but back when we lived in here, the trees was a lot taller. They probably cut them down too, like they did the one that was up here. There was a lot more trees in the back. So it was like, we was kind of like surrounded by trees in the backyard, right? And we had a big backyard. So she said she's, just sitting, just on the toilet, not using the bathroom, but she just sitting there because she's scared, right? And she says she hears a loud ass boom, like something landed on top of the roof. And she said she seen something jump into the trees, right? Like either it jumped off of the trees onto the roof or off the roof onto the trees. Like she heard the trees and she heard the boom. And she's like, you know what? She gets out of the bathroom. And my mom, she is very religious, right? Very spiritual, very religious. So she prayed and prayed and prayed. And she said, this is her words, not mine, right? I wasn't there at the time. My little brother wasn't there. This is my mom. She said a ball of energy, right, bounced all around the kitchen, straight out the front door, right? And after that, after her prayers, I guess her prayers was answered. However she prayed, we was good. Never really had a lot of like issues, a lot of problems and stuff since then. But I always had a feeling that like something was different, like about that house. Another story that just came to mind, right? I remember one day we would just be like, it's always something with the doors too. Like, I don't know if like ghosts like doors, spirits like doors or something like that. Like, there's two stories, right? One, I was with my dogs, we was playing, for me and the homies, we was having a sleepover, right? We was playing hide and seek. And there's like a closet right here in the living room, like a little coat closet, right? One of my homies hid in the closet, right? If he sees this, he gonna remember that it's gonna be weak. Now the closet, it was just a normal closet. There was nothing wrong with it. The door wasn't offset or nothing like that. But like when he hid in the closet, he got stuck and the door would not open, bro. I'm telling you, like we over here, the door, like we've never had this problem before. The door just shut, and it was like it was locked. There ain't no lock on the door though. Excuse me. Ain't no lock on the door, right? So he's screaming at this point. Help! I can't breathe. And this comedy too, like it's not funny at the time because I know this nigga was scared, but we was like in middle school at the time, right? And he's like a couple years younger than me, so he was like, I know bro's in there shook. And like while he's stuck, my mom like pulls up, right? You could hear a car pull up, and there's like a the door to the side door, and one of my homies he was hiding in the kitchen. There's like a deep freezer, and he was hiding on top of the deep freezer, and if you standing in that corner, you can look out the door, and he seen her pull up, right? So this nigga jumps off the deep freezer and he runs. Like, I don't know why he got so scared. I guess he didn't want my mom to see him, stand up there, which is valid because my mom, she do be tweaking out sometimes. So he runs out and he literally slips and like this nigga slid across the kitchen trying to run because he just had his socks on, and he boom slams into the oven. Y'all ever see that Vine back in the day where she just like, hey y'all, come get y'all juice, and she put the oil on the floor, and the little kid, she running and like slid into the oven and broke it.
Cam and Colin, run in here, come get y'all juice. Shit.
Yeah, it was just like that. Our oven didn't break, thank God. But this nigga smacked that oven, bro. And like all this was going on, I was weak. I ain't gonna lie. I was laughing because this nigga yelling in the closet stuck. Other niggas slid through like there. I don't know what this has to do with it being haunted, but that was just a funny story. And it was just like, it's the doors really I want to pay attention to because like there's something wrong with the doors. I don't know what it is. Maybe, I don't know. The other story, right? I go to this one. Me and I got a couple more of my homies. We all just chilling in my room. This was before I moved into my sister's room, so I'm still sharing a room with my little brother. And I got my game system back there. I think they brought their game system too. So we had like Xbox, GameCube. I think my PlayStation was at my dad's. So we was all 360. I think we was playing. Was it Black Ops? One of the Black Ops, whichever one. I can't remember. We was playing COD though. We was playing Team Deathmatch, just multiplayer, right? So I'm chilling. I'm on my phone. Other homie playing the game. We got two other homies. One's watching. Other one, I think he on his phone too. He waiting to get on the game. And out of nowhere, there's like a closet in my room, right? Closet just opens up, bruh, out of nowhere. And this closet is shut. Like it don't do that. It doesn't, like the closet never did that before, right? I'm sitting here on my phone, right? I'm chilling, watching bro play the game. And I'm right next, I'm the closest one to the closet because I'm just sitting on the floor. And it, telling you, I felt a cold chill, bro, at the time. And I'm like, bro, what is going on, bro? Like, it's like I've never physically seen anything. I do have stories where I did see stuff, right? And if y'all want to hear those stories, let me know in the comments. Do whatever. But yeah, I could tell those stories too. But it wasn't at this house, right? It was at a different place. But I could tell y'all those stories too if y'all care to hear them, man. So yeah, man. Apparently, old haunted house is bluegrass gutters now, and they got some big plans for it, man. They're gonna turn this into this. I'm rooting for them. I hope they, get that together, man. Shout out to them. Oh yeah. Like I said, I got more story times, man. If y'all want to let me know, because it's a lot going on in my life, bro. So yeah, man, y'all can like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, share it, man. Let me know in the comments if y'all want to hear some more stories, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't lived a decent amount of life now, you feel me? So I definitely got some stories I could share with y'all, man. So let me know.